Revenge of the Sith is the only one of the prequels that's universally loved, and for good reason. It's a quantum leap above the other two. Stay tuned and I'll show you how Anakin Skywalker was destroyed with love. Yeah, love tore him apart. Let's get with it. I got a confession to make. This movie is not just up there with the original trilogy to me. It's actually my third favorite of the series, behind only Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I like it better than the original. I'm not saying it's a better movie because it's not. The original was much better acted and was much more important and influential. But just on personal preference, I like this one better than A New Hope. And I have even seen a decent amount of people say it's their favorite. Here's why. We all went to the prequel series for one reason, to find out how Anakin Skywalker turned into Darth Vader. At its core, all of quality Star Wars is about the rise, the fall, and the redemption of Anakin. That's one of the hundreds of reasons why the new sequel trilogy sucked, because he wasn't there. This film does something absolutely amazing to me. We go to movies hoping to be surprised, but here we all know Anakin Skywalker is going to the dark side. The question isn't if, it's how. And yet this doesn't hurt the film at all. Instead, it actually helps it. Here we find out the true depravity of Darth Sidious/Emperor Palpatine. Honestly, this guy is the ultimate evil genius. It turns out he was literally playing both sides against the middle. He is such a master manipulator that the only time his whole life that something didn't go according to plan was when he failed to turn Luke to the dark side. He started the entire war for no other reason than just to seek power. And get this, he already had power. He was already the unofficial dictator of the Republic. But he is not satisfied unless absolutely every sliver is under his thumb. In turn, he was on both sides the entire time, fighting against the very rebellion he started in the first place. Undeniably killing millions of people in the process just for absolute power. And screwing everyone over in the process. He is the most selfish villain in all of fiction. After he uses everybody to his own ends and they're no longer any use to him, he gets rid of them all. Because all he cares about is himself and his power. And we get to see how he becomes the ugly, crusty old man of Return of the Jedi, too. In short, he is so awesome. Vader's evil can't compare to the darkness of this guy's heart. And by the way, here's a question. Did he ever really care about Anakin? Personally, I think he liked him as much as a pure sociopath like him could. But ultimately, he was just another tool to use at his whim. Everything always went according to his plan. But ultimately, this is the story about how a good man is tormented by bad circumstances till he loses his soul. It turns out Anakin didn't turn to the dark side for selfish power like his master, or for glory, or because he was disillusioned with the Jedi Order. He did it for love. He loved a woman, a good woman, and he simply couldn't live without her. And he decided he would even condemn his own soul to save her. The road to hell is paved with good intentions indeed. Anakin has visions of her dying in childbirth, and since he had the same visions about his mother dying before she finally did, he knows that this will happen to her if he doesn't do something. In turn, he ends up making a deal with an almost literal devil, selling his soul. But sadly, in the process, this very act ends up killing the person he loved more than anything, who he gave up everything to save, and he still lost everything in the end. He's the ultimate tragic figure. Love literally tore him apart. In turn, Padme and Obi-Wan are put into a terrible situation themselves. Padme loves Anakin more than anything, and Obi-Wan is not just his best friend and mentor, but he's like his brother. They have to make a decision. Do they choose their love for their friend and lover, or do they choose their principles? All the while, Palpatine plays him like a fiddle, knowing every button to push and exploiting his vulnerabilities. One of my favorite scenes is when they're at the theater, and Palpatine tells Anakin the story about Darth Plagueis, who was the greatest Sith Lord in history, who learned how to control death itself before his own people killed him. It's never explicitly stated, but we all know Palpatine is talking about himself, and that he was the backstabbing pupil. The implication is clear. If you follow me, I will teach you how to defeat death and save your loved ones. But you have to turn against the Jedi Order to do it. Yoda and Mace Windu always had a bad feeling about Anakin, and they stopped him from achieving power with the Council, despite him most likely being the strongest Jedi among them, and not doing anything previously to earn their suspicion. Honestly, Anakin has every right to be upset that they're screwing him over, and he to that point had done nothing wrong to earn this treatment. And though it's an open question about how the Emperor feels about Anakin, there's no doubt how Anakin feels about him. It's hero worship. The Emperor was acting all along, but he always came off as the only one who always supported him, and was there for him. Another reason he turned was because even after learning what a snake he was, he still couldn't turn over the man he respected the most in the entire universe. The fight on Mustafar is to me the greatest lightsaber battle of all time, not just because of the action, but because of the drama, between Anakin and his former friend Obi-Wan, fighting a battle he wants nothing to do with. The fact that the place looks like a literal hell is no coincidence either. This is a metaphor for the fall of Lucifer. Oh yeah, did I mention Chewie's in there too? In this movie, I mean. And there's a planet of Chewies, and he used to hang out with Yoda. That's sweet. Anyway, back to the point. The movie is by far the darkest of the series. It makes Empire look optimistic in comparison. This is truly the tragedy of a once great man. Honestly, I couldn't imagine this scenario being handled any better than it is here. And the scene where Palpatine officially becomes dictator and everyone applauds but Padme is a haunting scene. As is the scene where Anakin is literally chopped to pieces and fried, metaphorically losing his humanity. And the scene at the end where Anakin gets the Vader suit and mask and officially becomes Darth Vader still gives me goosebumps to this day, no matter how many times I see it. It's literally the birth of a legend. And when he uses the Vader voice for the first time and then cries over losing his beloved, and Palpatine smiles in joy, it's truly powerful. Sure, he could turn on the Emperor, but he gave up everything to save his girl, and she died anyway. He has nowhere else to go, and besides, the Emperor saved him instead of letting him rot in lava like his former friend Obi-Wan did. Out of loyalty, and because he's lost everything and believes he is beyond redemption, he accepts his fate. Everyone thought Anakin was the chosen one, the Jedi Jesus, the Messiah, but in truth, he was actually the Antichrist, and it was his then unborn son who was really the chosen one after all, and he redeems his father later. We get to see baby Luke and Leia at the end. We even get to see a younger Grand Moff Tarkin. Yeah, it's not a clear picture, but that guy on the left is the great Tarkin himself. Then we see the two most evil men in the universe standing side by side, and Vader crosses his arms, a simple gesture that shows that his transformation into Vader is finally complete. Anakin Skywalker is dead. Darth Vader is born. There would be a happy ending, of course, but not for a long time. This is the darkest, saddest film in the series, and it's for this reason that I consider it my favorite movie of the prequels, and a timeless classic.